Hey guys, how's it going? It's Breakout Bag Lunch, and today is February 19th, 2026. As you can see, we're looking at a red day today. Not a huge red day, but a red day nonetheless. I will say that I'm overall pretty happy with the way things turned out. It's not ideal to lose money, of course, but due to the nature of the market, this day could have been a lot worse. It could have been last Friday all over again. I'm not going to waste too much time with the introduction. So let's just get right into a review of the trades and a review of a trade that I took last afternoon. And I'm going to talk about my takeaways and lessons learned from today's session. As always, we're going to start with a high level overview. What I noticed was that yesterday we had this nice bounce. I don't have this zone drawn here on Topstep X, but let me just add it quickly. Yesterday you can see that at this area we had a nice bounce. So I was expecting this area to act as support today. We did have a bit of consolidation in the pre-market, but overall we were holding this level. Now if you go to the 1 minute chart, we did get that expected bounce. At market open, we did have a sharp move lower, but we had a move right back up but below this level. And this bounce from this supply zone or area of support wasn't something I was looking to trade, but it gave me more confidence in taking this long that I'm about to discuss. So after we had this move below the 5 minute opening range, we moved back up. Then we had to move above the 5 minute opening range. At this point, I was just looking for a nice pullback to a VWAP to enter, and also a pullback to the fib area. As you can see here, we did get a pullback to the VWAP, but the reason I didn't take a trade here was because we were still a bit above the 50% area. If VWAP was a bit lower, then I would have taken a trade here, but price wasn't quite where I wanted it to be. And so I just waited for a deeper pullback, which we got. And our reasoning for taking this long here was, notice how we get this bounce here at the same level. At this point, we're at the 50% area for our fib. That gave me multiple confluences to enter a long trade, which I did at 6876. I did move my entry or limit order a bit further up, which in retrospect was a mistake, but not a huge one. Now, originally we were getting this nice move up. My profit target was high of day, or around 68.93. Stop loss was just below the 60% area for a fib, which we hit, and so I was out of the trade. After my stop loss got hit, we did have a nice move up. I shouldn't even say nice. We had a very quick move up, but not a super large one. We kind of just went back up and then went down and up and down. There was a lot of consolidation. What I was looking for in terms of another possible long entry or just another trade was a move above this high on the New York session, and then a pullback from this high, just to give me confirmation that we actually are in uptrend, that we are surpassing previous highs. But we never quite got that, and because of the choppiness of the market, I just decided to stop trading. Now, there was a nice trade here at around 1220, 1223, or right here at 1242. This would have been a nice short, but yeah, at this point I was just not looking at the charts. The trade I took yesterday was just on the Apex account. Full transparency, that was a losing trade, and that was a trade where I did not follow my rules. I took a trade just based on this VWAP bounce, and I got stopped out. We had a really nice move up yesterday, so I was looking for a continuation, which unfortunately we did not get. I think the lessons for today are, well, first of all, I need to be more intentional about where I place my stop loss, because usually when I place a stop loss, it's just based on my profit target. But maybe I should just try placing a stop loss based on something structural in the market, or maybe based on an indicator. I kind of place a stop loss based on an indicator, but maybe I should just have them a little bit wider in general. In any case, I don't think the trade I took today was bad. There are just ways that maybe it could have been better. I guess the other thing to note is, previously I would have probably taken profit, up here at 6885 or so. So, it's not always the case that having a higher take profit area or lower for a short entry is going to be profitable on a day-to-day basis. In the long term, if you're always taking profit early and you increase your take profit, then you're going to make more money. But in this case, it just didn't work out, and that's okay. Another thing I should do is not mess up my limit orders too much, because my original limit order was at 6875, but I moved it up a little bit. Again, not the worst mistake in the world, because I only moved it up a point, but I could have lost a little bit less money today if I had just done that. I will say that just in terms of account management, I did really well today. I took one trade. It was a losing trade. I did not see any other trade I wanted to take, and so I just stopped trading, and that's it. One of the most important things you have to learn in trading is to walk away. Walk away when you don't see the setup you want to take, or when enough factors are in favor of the trade you want to take. Walk away when market conditions are not in favor of the strategy you like to use. In this case, the market is very choppy. There's not really a very strong direction, bullish or bearish. And as a trend trader, this is the type of market where I could lose a lot of money if I'm trying to sit and stare at the computer screen all day looking for trades. That's how people end up blowing their accounts. That's how I almost blew my account on Friday. And you know what? That's not going to happen again. It's not. All right. That's all I wanted to mention today. I'll just end by saying I took the same long entry on the Apex account, and of course it was a losing trade on there as well. If you have any comments or suggestions, please let me know. I'd love to hear them. Otherwise, have a great day, and I will talk to you and see you in the next video. Bye.